This is Angela Vergara, and she is the living, breathing, walking definition of fuck around and find out. If you don't know Angela, don't worry, I'm gonna explain it. Angela here is a far-right congresswoman from Colombia, and she has been a staunch supporter of Donald Trump and the ICE movement. Whenever the agency goes and rounds people up, Angela is there to support them. In fact, she has nothing but good words for them. Until a couple weeks ago, Angela's son gets picked up by ICE and he is in a detainment center. And you can bet your last dollar that Angela is upset. She says that her son is living in horrible conditions and is being treated like an animal. Her own words say that her son has legal status because he filed for asylum. And get this, she says that he is not like the other illegal immigrants. The reality of this entire thing is extremely simple. Angela here supports the detainment and the misery of other people, but now that it's happened to her and her family, she's crying that this country isn't supposed to be like this. Yeah, go figure, Angela.
Mi hijo no es un indocumentado. Mi hijo es otro latino más que está sufriendo en carne propia.
Latinos for Trump just don't get it. They don't want you either. Just for context, this is Angela Vergara, a Colombian congresswoman who is also an avid Trump supporter whose son was recently detained by ICE and has been chained up for 20 days apparently. We've tried telling these people countless times. And the thing about Latinos for Trump is that they genuinely believe that they are exempt from all of this. They openly support ICE. They openly support what's going on until it happens to them. And seeing videos like these where Latinos for Trump FAFO genuinely make my day. I have zero sympathy for these people, and I genuinely hope that this happens to every Latino for Trump. Unfortunately, it is their innocent family members who will be paying the price, but oh well, you get what you vote for. Y como decimos en México, para ser pen, no se estudia. But anyways, play silly games, get silly prizes.
I've told a couple of members of my family that had voted differently. I've had conversations with them that they'd made a mistake. They feel betrayed.
What do they actually say?
It's hard for me to listen to them because I tell them this is exactly what he said he was going to do and what we said he would do, and they just didn't believe it. And they thought, well, it can't happen to us. It's a selfish worldview that, oh, it's not going to impact them, but it will impact others. At the end of the day, I'm glad that every day more Latinos, Latinas are waking up that supported Trump and realizing they made a mistake and that Donald Trump lied and that they did not understand that this was actually going to be his plan all along.
Do you feel like they'll shift their votes?
I think a lot of them will. I hope that they've realized that the modern Republican Party is not the party of Ronald Reagan that gave amnesty and a pathway to citizenship to so many families, including mine. This is a warped, dark, incredibly cruel MAGA party that wants nothing to do with immigrant families and will not support the Latino community in any way.
Latinos for Trump are in their find-out era. Many cheered for deportations. They supported ICE, but now ICE is knocking on their door, and even their children are being detained. They thought they were safe because they supported DJT, and they thought they were different, and their proximity to whiteness would guarantee them protection, but that's not the case. That's why it's being said, when you vote for policies that are going to harm other people, don't be surprised when those policies are going to harm you too. So let's get to see more reactions, then I'll come back with more commentary, all right? Let's dive into it.
ICE just grabbed the son of Colombia's loudest Trump supporter. Angela Vergara, she's a Colombia congresswoman, was on camera cheering when Trump got back in office. Posted on Instagram and she loved it. Her son Rafael had documents, work permit, social security number, and a court date scheduled. He's doing everything right. Then one day at 4 a.m., January 28th, ICE grabs him off the public road in Louisiana, gave him 3 minutes to contact his family, then poof, gone. 18 days in a packed cell, everybody's getting sick, and Angela goes on social media crying about her son is in prison and in chains. I'm so sorry for you, pobrecito. She was celebrating when Trump's return while other Colombian families were already getting their doors kicked in. And now she's begging Gustavo Petro, the leftist president her party fights with every single day, to pressure the US government to get her son out. Dude, the irony here, man. Oh, and by the way, Colombia's Supreme Court charged her with bribery in 2024 because she took gifts got promised government contracts, voted for a specific mayor candidate in exchange. Then she got suspended from office in 2025 for a conflict of interest. The only thing here is that poor kid, right? He had papers, he had permit, he had a court date, and now he's sitting in the cell in Louisiana. He did everything right, but the mom, she has bribery charges, suspended from office. She's the criminal that, if she was here, she needed to be taken out.
Another Latino Trump supporter regrets his vote after he's detained by ICE, man. Before I give you guys my take on this, I want to tell you what ICE done with this Trump shit, right? I don't vote. I don't get involved. I went viral making fun of Trump, and I went viral saying something that was pro-Trump, right? I'm in the middle, bro, making fun of both sides, man. When one side does something good, I'm like, yo, that's not a bad thing, right? But this video is about self-awareness and why it is so important for you to possess it, right? Because it's like, I'm an immigrant, I'm Latino, right? When I heard Trump say that he's gonna be deporting all the criminals, while my brain interpreted is that it didn't matter whether you were committing crimes or not, because once you cross into this country legally, you are a criminal, right? Latinos heard, no, he's only gonna be getting rid of the bad ones, the Venezuelans, the people that are beating up cops, the people that are stealing, the people that are robbing people on mopeds. It's only the bad guys. What my brain also heard is like, yo, once these ICE agents are given the green light, bro, anybody that looks like they're gonna come over here, man, could potentially be arrested or getting stopped. I had a viewer of mine from Chicago. She's Mexican and Japanese, right? She told me in one of my live streams that in Chicago, she got stopped, at a grocery store, man, by some ICE agents talking about, you look like you don't got papers, and she was like, what? And whatever, she showed their ID and they apologized. And I'm like, yo, you had a lawsuit right there. I'm pretty sure you could have done something there, man. I would not have let that go. I would have whipped out the phone, man, and I would have started recording. But anyway, man, self-awareness is a thing, people. Like, I understand that the Democrats, they went batshit crazy. They don't even know how many genders there were anymore, right? So I get why so many people say, yeah, we can't do that no more, right? But remember, once you come over here and decide, you have to understand what it is that you're opening the door to. You feel me? And a lot of Latinos, man, are like, damn, we messed up, right? There was that Cuban truck driver, right? They've been here 20 years, don't speak English. Trump said, if you can't speak English, you can't drive a truck. He came over, he was celebrating Trump's victory, bro. He came on the inner crying like, oh, this motherfucker, how you gonna do it? I've been here 20 years. Bro, you've been here 20 years, man, and he was not old. He was like in his early 40s. That means that he came here when he was young enough to learn the language. But yeah, man, yeah, better be careful what you vote for. That's why I don't get involved, bro, because I see you for what it is, man.
Now, Angela's over here crying because her son was taken by you know who. El Hielo. Yes, they took her son. Although he was a resident and he had his work permit, the social security number, and he was good till 2028. He has been taken and he's being treated inhumanely in a detention center. And she's over here crying all those crocodile tears because she thought she was special. She thought she was different. But you're not, mommy. You're not. Tú pensaste que tú eras mejor que todo el mundo, que tú eras especial, que tú eras uno de ellos. Pero mami, no, you're not. They're gonna look at you the way they look at all of us. And we're no different. We're all the same to them. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you're in their political party. It doesn't matter if you voted for them. Oh, but I didn't vote for my son to be taken. Yeah, but it was okay for them to take other.
Let's check back in with Maria Salazar. She's a Cuban American, a U.S. Congresswoman from Florida, a Trumper, supporting Trump in 2024. Here's what she said after he won the election.
This is a realignment. It's a realization by the Hispanics that the new home is the Republican Party.
A year later, and we've all seen Trump's policies, ICE rounding up undocumented migrants, some who have been here for decades, paying taxes, raising children, retired. She's kind of changed her tune.
Hispanics married President Trump. They're only dating the GOP. I've been warning it. If the GOP does not deliver, we will lose the Hispanic vote all over the country. And unfortunately, it happened last night. In New Jersey and Virginia, Hispanics moved back more than 25 points to the Democratic Party.
So Angela Vergara, pro-Trump congresswoman, who used to applaud and cheer as ICE took away her own countrymen, is now very upset. She thought it was wonderful that they were abducting all these criminal Colombians off the street and deporting them off to who knows where. But now she's very upset because they snatched up her son, also Colombian, and have him detained. And now she's pleading with President Trump to please release my son. You're only supposed to take criminals. And it's falling on deaf ears because they don't care. They never cared about you. You wanted to be one of them. You've never been one of them. And now that it's come down to you and you fafoed, you're upset. And you say it's cruel that they're snatching people off the street. You didn't think it was cruel when they were snatching everybody else, but now that it's your family, you think it's cruel.
There's a lot of self-hating Latinos on this app, like Latinos for Trump. And obviously, they think they're white, they try to cater to white Republicans. They're desperate for acceptance, which, they'll never get. And I find it very interesting because never once have I seen a white Republican, repost their videos or share their videos or like their videos or leave a comment saying that they support them. Never. If you go to their comment section, all you're going to see is other self-hating Latinos. It's like a little circle jerk of self-hate. They're so desperate for acceptance that they seek validation within themselves. If you don't believe me, go to any of their videos and just go look at the comments. And I'll take it even a step further. You guys remember Tortas Manantial, that Mexican restaurant in Phoenix that came out saying that they were MAGA and now they're going bankrupt? I have not seen a single white Republican or a MAGA content creator come out and say, you know what, let's go support Tortas Manantial. Let's go take them out of bankruptcy. Not one. Tortas Manantial is pro-MAGA, but MAGA is not pro-Tortas Manantial. I just find it very interesting how the people that they're so desperate to be accepted by do not care about them at all. It's such a bizarre inferiority complex, almost like Stockholm Syndrome. But there you have it, guys. I have not seen a single white Republican support any of these Latinos for Trump. But anyways, let me know what you guys think.
In today's episode of What Do You Think Would Happen, we have Colombian Congresswoman Angela Maria Vergara, whose son was detained by ICE nearly 3 weeks ago now. She made a very emotional video on Twitter asking for his safe return and talking about the inhumane conditions. It's not surprising that Congressman Vergara has been a huge supporter of Donald Trump and was celebrating the deportation of even her own fellow Colombians. Like I have talked about many times when it comes to Latino Trumpers, whether it's here or elsewhere, you are not one of them.
Latinos for Trump believe supporting harsh immigration policies would shield them, that cheering for ICE raids would never come back to haunt their own families, that deportations were something that would happen to other immigrants, not them. But history has a brutal way of teaching lessons. Today, we are seeing stories of children detained, families separated, and communities living in fear. There have been cases where young kids, sometimes 5 years old, were taken into immigration custody during enforcement operations, sparking national outrage and legal battles. Reports show that the number of children held in migration detention has increased dramatically in recent years. These are families and kids caught up in a political machine. And the saddest part, some of the very people now crying on social media, now begging for mercy, they once supported the policies that made this possible. They said immigrants were taking jobs. They said deportations were necessary. And they said law and order mattered more than compassion. But when the system expands, it does not stop at the people you dislike. Power never does. When you build a system designed to be cruel, eventually it will turn on you. This is a reality of proximity to whiteness. It is a promise that never lasts. A seat at a table that disappears the moment you are no longer useful. Many Latino Trump supporters, they believe they are insiders, but politics is transactional. You are valuable only as long as you serve the agenda. And now the same machinery they applauded is sweeping through their communities. Parents are being detained. Children are traumatized. Families are torn apart. Some are shocked, some are regretful, and some are asking why us. But the truth is simple. The policies never cared about identity. They cared about power, control, and optics. You don't get to cheer for cruelty and then act surprised when it reaches your doorstep. This moment is not just about Latinos. It is a warning to everyone. When you support policies rooted in fear and dehumanization, you normalize the suffering of others. And once suffering becomes normal, it is praise. Today it's immigrants. Tomorrow it could be political opponents, the journalist, the activist. History is filled with examples of groups who thought they were safe until they weren't. This is not about celebrating people's pain, because children suffering is not a win, and families being destroyed is never justice, but it is a lesson about voting against your own community and a lesson about thinking that you can align with systems that were never built for you. And maybe, just maybe, This moment will wake people up and realize fighting for others is how you protect yourself. Thank you so much for tuning in. Be sure to like, subscribe, and share. Have a good one. I'll see you in the next video.